My wife cheated on me and didn't even care about our kids. But I had everything on camera. My name is Adrian. I'm 42 years old, a father of 2. And up until just a few months ago, I truly believed I was the luckiest man in the world. I met my wife 20 years ago. Back in college, she was in my eyes perfect. Smart, beautiful, full of life, and I truly believed she loved me. My family loved her, my friends adored her. Everyone wanted us to be together. And so, I married her without a single doubt in my heart. Over the years, we had 2 amazing kids. A daughter and a son. I would give them everything, and I did. But here's the thing, nothing is ever as perfect as it looks from the outside. Because my wife, she wasn't just capable of betraying me. She was capable of walking away from her children too. The first crack? It started with something that, at the time, seemed small. One day, our kids found an injured rabbit in the yard. They were worried sick. Wrapped it in blankets, gave it water. Their tiny hearts had hope. I told them, let's take it to the bushes in the back. It'll be safer there. It can hide and maybe go back to the wild. But my wife, like always, ignored what I said. She said, no need for all that. Just let it go right in the middle of the yard. Nature will handle it. And the kids listening to their mom did just that. The rabbit sat in the middle of the yard for less than a minute, before a hawk came down and snatched it up right in front of their eyes. They screamed. They cried. My son looked at her and yelled, "You killed the bunny." From that day on, they called her the bunny killer. And you know what? That name stuck. At first, I thought it was just a bad choice, a small mistake. But I would soon learn that what the hawk took that day wasn't just the rabbit. It was the beginning of the end. After the bunny incident, something changed in the house. The kids started keeping their distance from their mom, and my wife drifted even further away from us. She smiled like always, but her eyes were colder. She was here, but not really here. Sunday breakfast became filled with silence. My son would ask, "Mom, why are you always in your room?" My daughter would whisper, "Don't you love us anymore?" And what did she do? She'd force a fake smile, pat their heads, then grab her phone and disappear. Still, I tried to stay positive. Maybe it's just stress, I told myself. Maybe hormones. But deep down, I knew something was off. Then one day, my daughter came to me, shaking. She whispered in my ear, "Dad, Mom's been bringing a man over. She tells us to keep it secret." My heart nearly stopped. I didn't know what to say. I just looked into her little eyes, eyes that were too serious for her age. There was no way this was a lie. If this was true, then everything else was a lie too. That day, I changed. I decided to set up hidden security cameras in the house. Didn't tell anyone. Had the packages delivered to my office. Installed them while my wife was out with her friends. Soon I could monitor every inch of the house. The kitchen, the living room, the hallway, even the doorway to our bedroom. And here's what I learned. If you're not ready to face the truth, don't set up cameras, because the truth always hurts. And the truth came fast. That friend? He was young, handsome, 10 years younger than her. She welcomed him in, kissed him, giggled, whispered. They joked about our kids, mocked my old socks, laughed about how boring I was. Then he touched her belly. She looked at him with tears in her eyes. "I'm pregnant," she said. Silence. "Is it mine?" he asked. She nodded. "Yes, and Adrian can't ever know. At least not yet." I froze. They talked like I didn't exist, like I was just a bank account with legs. I sat in that motel room staring at my screen, fist clenched, heart shattered. This was the woman I loved for 20 years, but she loved my stability, not me. The next morning, I dropped the kids off at my sister's house, told them I was going on a work trip. But I wasn't going anywhere. I stayed at a motel a few miles away. I needed to see how deep this went, how far she'd fallen, and if there was even a shred of the woman I married left inside her. That same night, she brought him over again, like clockwork. They laughed on the couch, watched movies, cooked dinner together in my kitchen. My kitchen. Then they joked about me. How I dressed like a divorced dad already. How she'd fake a miscarriage if she had to, he asked. What about the kids? She shrugged. He can keep them. They like him better anyway. I clenched my jaw so hard I thought my teeth might crack. Those weren't just words. That was her truth. And then, she told him this wasn't even her first affair. When I was 29, there was another guy, she whispered. But I stayed with Adrian because of the money. That night, something inside me snapped, not in rage. In clarity. She wasn't just cheating, she was scheming. Planning a whole new life while still feeding off mine. I stayed calm, collected, and made a decision. I was going to take everything. Not out of revenge, but because it was mine to begin with. The next day, I contacted the best divorce attorney in the city. Told him I wanted someone ruthless. He asked for details. I showed him the videos. He smiled. This will be fun, he said, and so it began. While the divorce papers were being prepared, the cameras in our home kept recording. Every move, every word. I watched in silence. At that point, I didn't need a trap anymore. There was enough truth to bury her on its own. One weekday, while the kids were at school, and I was pretending to work from home, I made my move. I had the sheriff serve her the divorce papers. She opened the door, took the envelope, read the contents, and her face turned pale. Then the meltdown. She stormed off to the bedroom, slammed the door, and began crying loud enough for the neighbors to hear. Then she made her call to the police. She told them I had assaulted her, but this time I was ready. When the officers arrived, I greeted them calmly, opened my laptop, and showed them the footage. No yelling, no threats, no violence, just her. Crying when I was in the room, smirking the moment I left. The moment her mask slipped off, and her true face appeared. The officers exchanged a glance, and then they turned to her. You're under arrest for making a false police report. In that moment, everything fell quiet. This woman, the one I married, the one who gave birth to my kids, the one who once promised me forever, was now being led away in handcuffs. And I didn't shed a single tear. All I said was, now the world knows who you really are. After my ex-wife was arrested, the house was quiet for days. The kids didn't know anything. And I just kept to myself. But silence doesn't last forever. Because one morning, there was a knock at the door. Standing there were my ex-in-laws. Their faces, a mix of disappointment and rage. We know now it didn't happen the way she said, they told me. Tell us everything, son. I opened my laptop, let them see it for themselves. The videos. The truth. Their daughter, pregnant with another man's child. And worse, she tried to frame me. They pulled out their phone. Called her right there, on speaker. You're no longer our daughter, her father said coldly. Then they turned back to me. We'll do what we can. You won't raise those kids alone. And for the first time, I didn't feel alone anymore. My ex-wife came back, with him. The man she was having a baby with. They made it to the front door, but she never got inside. Because I was ready. My sister and brother-in-law stood beside me, and of course, the cameras were rolling. She claimed she was only here to collect her things. But she didn't say a single word to our kids. No, I miss you. No, I love you. My youngest cried. He ran toward her for a hug. But she didn't even turn her head. That moment told me everything. She wasn't a mother anymore. Not to them. Not to anyone. When she left, she didn't just take her bags. She took every piece of who she used to be. To us, she no longer existed. Months later, the court date finally arrived. My ex-wife was in the final stretch of her pregnancy. There was no guilt on her face, no shame. Just rage her affair partner didn't show. She came with a lawyer, but it wouldn't help. I was ready, files in hand, videos queued, witnesses lined up. She spoke first, lied through her teeth. But lies don't last long in front of a judge. I presented everything: camera footage, audio recordings, text messages, and most damning, her own words. She had nothing to say, no more lies, no more games. That day, the judge ruled. I got full custody of the kids. The house became mine entirely. She walked away with nothing but her car and some clothes. But the real loss? The kids didn't even want to see her. She did that to herself. Months passed. My ex-wife and her affair partner left town, started a new life together. But the past doesn't let go so easily. Our mutual friends, they cut ties, turned their backs. No one trusted them anymore. Meanwhile, I rebuilt a home with my kids. My mother moved in to help. Our house felt like a real home again. Then one day, a letter arrived. From her lawyer, inside a handwritten note from my ex. "I've paid the price for what I did," it read. "I want to see my children." I wrote one line back. "They don't want to see you." And I mailed it. Because some lines, once crossed, can't be uncrossed. Today, my children are safe. I am free. And the past is just a lesson. The woman who once tried to destroy me, her name isn't even spoken in our house anymore. You know what real revenge is? Living well, on your own terms. And that's exactly what I did.